So we organized this course around the PIF instructions of Gerhard Dorje, the three statements that strikes the essence. And so these three statements being, as translated by Ken MacLeod, there, this is what you are. There, nothing else matters. And there, let it unfold. So the first statement being there, this is what you are, which represents or points at the direct introduction to awareness, which we started with, which is in a way this pointing at this simple act of being, what is called, which is the natural state, which is not fabricated, which is just this simple presence and knowing that we can find in all experience. All experience is possible because there is we are awareness. And when we recognize that, then it opens up the possibility of operating from a different way. I mean, in a way, we discover the spacious clarity of knowing, simply that is present in all experience. And in a way, we can always return to because we never left that place, that space. And we, in the direct introduction, we also introduce, in a way, or when we open up to this simple dimension of being, this is what we've described it, or we've used the concepts of non-duality to describe this, which is kind of all experience being a mix, or not being able to separate the emptiness characteristics from the form characteristics, which is what dualism is, trying to separate, the solid from the insubstantial, the defined from the undefined, the permanent from the impermanent, and really trying to cling to the permanent. And I mean, this is what we've described as the dualistic habit, this habit of trying to separate, to hold on to the solid, to clinging to form and rejecting emptiness, which is what make us spin us in circle and entangle and really miserable in a way. Whereas when we accept, we open up to the acceptance that these things just are goes together. We cannot find any definition which won't hurt something which is not defined. And everything permanent will eventually become impermanent. That nothing is that these two things are joined at the hips, like we said. Then this is when we're able to rest in this spontaneous energy of being. So this was like the introduction, and the core practice there, if you recall, was to do nothing or remaining uninvolved, because that allows us to appreciate the emptiness quality that we usually reject. And that's the first practice. It's kind of befriending emptiness, being able to see nothing, and okay, there's nothing really that I'm able to grasp to here, but I can still be present. And then we discover the presence in emptiness. And then this is where we went to the second statement, which is there, nothing else matters, which is, okay, once we recognize awareness, we're able to, the second statement is kind of related to the path. So what's the method is kind of always returning or staying present in awareness. And how do we do that? In the face of form, where our dualistic habit is kind of triggered in a way, or activated, where we're trying to form push away emptiness. So this is where we started to see how to integrate all arising of forms into as a way of returning and reconnecting uh, uh, with the presence of awareness. And there, the fifth instruction would be finding the presence of awareness in the dimension of whatever is arising. So we explicitly discuss, we're integrating thoughts, emotions, body sensations, and then the last session was on the effort. So with thoughts, we saw how we could remain in thoughts. Thoughts can appear, and we can be present to their arising and to the thinking process. And sometimes, even though this is subtle because we usually kind of collapse on the thinking process and become identified with it, but when we let thinking arise out of awareness, we're able to not lose the presence with thinking. And we also saw that sometimes when we can become overwhelmed, we can the technique of exploding the space, the conceptual space, using pop, exploding the space, so that we can get back and return to in an easier way to the non-conceptual space, which characterize awareness. So just thinking, pop, this is how we work with thoughts. We then work with with body, which is we discuss like the three different types, the three kayas, the three bodies. So body of awareness, the Dharmakaya, and the body of manifestation, which is like the physical sensations, and then like how the Sambhogakaya manifests in our experience with energy. So when we're and whenever we're opening up to our body, we're able to touch this with by becoming aware of the sensations and the flowing sensations. This is where we were able to have the whole of the body in our consciousness without letting the body be in a way, which is essential to be working with emotions. When we work with emotions, the emotions we appreciated emotions as this dynamic energy happening in experience, and then the way to stay grounded in awareness with emotions being opening up to the body sensations, understanding, naming the emotion so that we know what is the meaning of it, that sort of thing, and integrating also the thoughts, because emotions is a very complex phenomena involving body sensation, thoughts, energy, and then like just being with the emotion and letting it run its course, and accepting the intelligence that it manifests, because each emotions is a response to what is arising, and there's a lot of intelligence in them, even if sometimes our reactions are not manifesting of all the emotions present in the emotion, because of the trying to define to stay to because of the dualistic habit, which is trying to there's this preference here, and now we're trying to manipulate everything to preserve this thing, which might not be appropriate in this case. And finally, we also work with pointing at the effort. The effort was the last thing, how to work with effort, because effort is often we define effort defined as this impression that there is a subject or a subject willingly doing an effort that needs to manage to control the action, which is this is the internal ego or witness that's usually the witness, when it tries to manipulate, is not just a witness, but even in the witness there is this little effort of things separate from the luminous space of awareness. So knowing, I mean, and in a way, effort is kind of the going back full circle to the instructions on doing nothing. I mean, if the instructions on do nothing, if any moment you become aware that you're trying to control attention, you're making an effort to control attention, drop that. So in a way, again, here it was pointing us at, okay, where are the efforts we're playing? Where are we trying to control, manage the situation? And then just relaxing around that to, so that this is where we transition to the results of the path, the last statement, which is there, let it unfold, where in a way, at that point, all activity becomes a contemplation, where in a way, just being this again. So, and then this is Norrell for Dzogchen. It said that the path of Dzogchen, the base is non-duality, or just being. The path is just being, and the result is just being. It's it's all there. But in Let It Unfold, it's pointing to this engaging with the world in a spontaneous way, where because of the presence of awareness, everything, all response take into account the totality of what is available, so that it's always appropriate. So yeah, let it unfold, which points at the spontaneous, complete activity. So that's what we covered in these 10 weeks. And what we're going to practice today, in a way, is a form of social meditation, which is called spontaneous just being. And the practice there, in a way, is kind of, it's being present to the presence of awareness and returning to it, maintaining it in everything that is arising. So the base, it's kind of, again, direct introduction to awareness. So we could use resting, or just being, just awareness, as this is the main anchor. And then whatever is arising, we integrate, we find a presence and awareness in it, so it becomes just, and we use the just prefix towards that. So everything can be integrated, so body, emotions, thoughts. So just thinking, just standing, just sitting, just relaxation, just anxiety, and just effort, just letting go. And you're also welcome to integrate pop. If at any moment you're lost and want to explode this place, you're free to bring that in. So yeah, so here it's really kind of, it is a complete practice in the sense this is something that I mean, it brings everything we've kind of practiced together, and now the other aspect of that practice is that it's done spontaneously. So it's whenever you are feel called to speak out what is happening for you in the practice, you're welcome to. And this is an invitation. So the why we're doing this spontaneously, it's kind of, this is the part of the integration. And in a way, we want to, you want to kind of let the practice do you. It's kind of, this is what a spontaneous practice is that you're not meditating, the meditation is doing you. So, I mean, this is might be confusing or might be not, but it's kind of it kind of express the atmosphere or the demeanor we want to bring to this practice. Yeah, and so this is how we are going to end. We'll do several rounds of that in small groups and then in a bigger groups. So spontaneous just being, which wraps up the whole of the course in one practice. Thank you.